So I wanted to go ahead and make a little video for you guys, and it's a little story time again like the other one. And this is a story about something that happened to me about 2 years ago or so. And the story has to do with catfishing. So what happened is that about 2 years ago, a friend of mine actually went ahead and sent me a message asking me, hey, so is this you? And she sent me a link to a profile. And this profile, it was on Facebook, and it was a different name, like under a different name, but it was pictures of me. So I take a look at this profile, and there were hundreds of pictures of me, and they were all pictures from my Facebook account. And they were just pictures of me alone. There were pictures of me at school with friends, pictures of me with family, with my siblings, with my parents. Like, this person spent so much time trying to make it look legit. And this person actually had quite a lot of friends. There were a lot of posting on the web, on like the page, and there was a lot of activity. So it actually did kind of look like a legit profile, besides the fact that some pictures were actually kind of blurry, you know? So I go ahead, and what I did was try to get in contact with this person. And as soon as I sent them a message, they never replied. They saw the message, you know, because it said look, seen on the message, and they just never replied. So I go ahead and actually end up showing the profile to my boyfriend and to a couple friends, send them the profile, and we go ahead and report it. Within 2 to 3 hours, the profile was completely gone. So I thought it was the end of that. But I still have this like little uneasy feeling inside that maybe there was still more I did not know about. So what I decided to go ahead and do is do like reverse Google search for my pictures. And sure enough, I go ahead and find a couple of profiles with my pictures. There was 2 more Facebooks, there was a Google account, there was a Twitter, and I was like, what the hell, you know, what is going on? So I go ahead, like the first one I look at was Twitter. I actually ended up sending it to my boyfriend too, and he saw it as well, and pointed out that this person looked like they were in a relationship with this guy. So I go ahead and message this guy on Twitter, and I ask him how he knows this person, and how long have they known him, have they seen each other, you know, like basic questions, you know, just trying to get information. And he, surely enough, he replies, and he tells me that they met on Twitter. They live fairly close to each other, but never actually seen each other in person. And they have been dating for a couple months. So I go ahead and ask him, don't you think it's a little strange that you haven't seen her in person? And you just said it yourself, you guys live fairly close, right? So why not see each other? You know, like, I don't see why. And he's like, well, honestly, I don't know. And then I ask him, have you tried video chatting with them? Well, she says she doesn't have a video camera, like a webcam. But she has a phone, right? I was like, yes. Well, you know. And then he like started making questions. He's like, I see that you have pictures, like your picture is of her. Why do you have a picture of my girlfriend? And I told him, honestly, to be honest with you, the reason why I got in contact with you was because this person that you've been talking to and say that you've been in a relationship with has actually been stealing my pictures. And this has been going on for a while now. So I've been trying to track her down and trying to figure out who it is, you know, so I can go ahead and like stop everything. And sure, like, it took me a while, but he ended up believing me. And he like went ahead and sent me a link to the Google account that I actually already found, but it just like proved to me that it was the same person, because like the accounts were linked to each other. So I go ahead and go on the Google account after actually shutting down that Twitter account, which took me forever and like such a hassle. I had to send my ID in. I had to like prove to Twitter that it was really me, and this profile was like completely spam. Like it was impersonation and like everything like that. And after that, I go onto the Google account. So on this Google account, sure enough, there were pictures of me, but there were also pictures of this other girl. And the pictures that were on this specific account were fairly similar to the pictures of this other girl that were there. It was very like rockery, like very emo-ish kind of feel. Cause like I went through that stage, like I was very dark, like I had dark makeup and like the whole shebang. And it was kind of similar. So, but you can still kind of tell there were two different girls. If you really did pay attention to the pictures, you could tell. So what I started to do is I started to comment on my pictures. Hey, why are you stealing pictures? These are mine. Stop pretending to be me. And after a while, I started getting messages from different guys and girls telling me that they actually went ahead and talked to this fake me, per se. And one of the guys actually ended up telling me that he was in a relationship with her for a while, and he actually sent her money. He actually would talk to her a lot. There were pictures that were involved, pictures that were pretty racy, and when he said this, I was like, what do you mean? Because I know that you're not going to find pictures of me in any compromising way out in the internet. So like I knew those pictures were not me, but I was curious, like I was honestly curious to see how far this person took it. So I asked him, can you send me those pictures that she sent you? And he's like, yeah, not a problem. And I think I still have like the messages, but I'm not really sure. And but if I do, I'll go ahead and try to like put it like right here or something. Obviously not showing pictures, but at least like a little bit of the conversation. And so he goes ahead and sends me the pictures, and right away you can tell that these pictures are either from porn sites or they're like off Google Images. And I go ahead and backcheck them, and like I located like the porn site they were from, and I showed the guy. I was like, hey, so these pictures are actually from here, they're not her, sorry. And he's like, like it's okay, like I was in love with her, and it just really sucks that it's not really her, and I'm so sorry that she's like using your pictures to fool other people, but hey, if you need help, I'm here to help you. So I was thankful for that, and then like the trail went cold from there. Like I didn't have like any contact with anybody else. I did message this girl, and she never like replied, and I was just like at a dead end. So then a couple months afterwards, this girl actually messaged me, and she's like, hey, are you so and so? And it's like, yes, that's me. Why? It's like, oh my god, thank God, because I've been looking for you for a full year. And it's just like, why? Like right away it's like, why have you been looking for me? Like I had no idea it had to do with this whole catfish thing. So I was like, hey, why have you been looking for me? And she's like, well, there's this girl on the internet that has been stealing your pictures. Like the little light bulb went off, like, oh my god, like it has to be the same thing. You know, like this girl has been doing it. Like, how come I can't get information, but you know, there's somebody that actually looking for me, trying to like stop this. So I replied, and we ended up talking. She told me that she pretty much wanted to like put an end to this girl because she really hurt her friend. Like she hurt him emotionally, and like I don't know how to explain how she explained it, but he was completely destroyed. Like, she played him so bad, and I felt so bad. And because at the end of the day, even though it wasn't me that was sending out the messages, but it's my picture, so in a way I felt responsible. And I go ahead and keep talking to this girl, and we get in contact with this guy that he's like around mid 60s or so, and he was the one that helped us out the most. And he actually had a direct number to this girl, so we convinced him to go ahead and call her. And like, he was convinced like the girl in the pictures was me. But then again, he was like, it's because I love her, and I just don't think she would play me like that. But we ended up convincing him to like call her and to help us out. So he calls her, and he's like, hey, why did you lie to me? Like, I know the girl in the pictures is not you. I've actually talked to her. What's going on? So she confesses that yes, my picture's on her, but that the other pictures on the profile are actually her. And then he told us that, and like, you know, like I had a gut feeling that she was lying. And me and the girl that we're gonna go ahead and call her Samantha. Me and Samantha actually went ahead and look at profiles that this girl actually had me blocked from, so I couldn't see them. And we ended up she ended up seeing that this lady had commented on all the pictures, liked all the pictures, and profiles that I wasn't blocked from, I saw that she was like liking and replying to pictures. And since I watch Catfish, you know, I was like, you know, it might be this lady. And this lady was like around mid 40s or so. And we got the guy to ask her about this lady, and she was like, oh, well, that's just my aunt. And I was just like, But like, I had this like gut feeling that it was really her, and she just did not want to confess. So the guy kept on pushing, and finally she confessed again and sends him pictures of this other girl that we have not seen yet, but this other girl. And he's like, this is really me. And the reason why I did not tell you is because I have a secret. It's like, okay, what's the secret? And he kept on pushing, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna tell you because I love you and I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Like, she kept on playing this guy, and he's like, it's because the secret is I have a son. And she sends pictures of this kid and this girl with the kid. I was like, are you serious? How far are you going to take it that you're involving a child into this? And like, you've scammed people. She got a guy to send her $20,000 because supposedly they were going to get married, and she needed the money to go ahead and cross the border to like Texas or something so they can get married. Like, this lady was like completely scamming people all over and getting money and like phones and like all this other stuff. So that's one thing, but like bringing a child, like seriously, why would you involve a child? And I told the guy, keep pressuring her, because I have a feeling that's not her either. So he kept on pressuring. He asked her about the lady, And like again, he's like, are you sure that's just your aunt? She's like, yes, that's my aunt. He's like, well, I don't believe that's your aunt. I really think that's you. And sure enough, she went ahead and confessed that that was actually her, and she confessed to everything. She ended up saying that she was in a like hard situation where she really needed money, and she found this girl on Facebook. Just randomly, she typed in a name, like a first name, and she saw a girl that she liked, and she thought she was pretty, and like thought she would get attention with these pictures. So she used them, and sure enough, she got the attention she wanted, she got the thing she wanted, and she just didn't know how to stop because she liked it. She liked the attention she was getting. And she never really thought of how that would affect other people, how that would affect me, because in a way it did affect me, because now it does make me think like how many other people are actually using my pictures, and I don't know. Like, are they really scamming people? Are they telling them horrible things, bullying people? Like, that's not okay. So I did end up talking to her and like convincing her to go ahead and delete everything, and she did, and she promised that she was going to stop, so that's all I can really do is take her word for it. But I did kind of sort of threaten her by telling her that if I do see any other profiles out there with my pictures, that right away I'm assume that it's her. So, and if I did, I was gonna actually go ahead and get the police involved. Like, I had an address and everything, because the older gentleman that was helping us had an address because he had sent her some things. So like I completely made up saying that I was gonna like send the feds over if she kept on doing this for like fraud and like all these other things, and that did kind of scare her a little bit, and that did like say that she was gonna stop. And so far I have not seen any other profiles, so hopefully it stays like that. And this whole situation did get me thinking, like, should I really start this whole video thing? Because it does expose me more to that kind of situations. But then I was like, why am I gonna go ahead and not do something I want to just because of a bad experience I had on the online, So I just wanted to go ahead and make the video because I did want to show you guys that it does happen to anybody, that either you could be catfished or they could use you to catfish somebody and like not just take money from them, but really hurt them emotionally. And honestly, I think that's like the worst kind of pain, and like the worst thing that could happen is getting hurt emotionally, because emotional hurt can lead to other things. Somebody could be so depressed that they ended up like self-harming. And in some situations, when the person that's doing the lying does not know what to do next because the person they're talking to really wants to meet them, they create a whole other profile, a whole other person, pretending to be the other person's like family or friend, and telling them that they died some horrific way. And that leaves the person they were talking to completely destroyed, because they think, like they truly believe that the person they were in love with, the best friend that they have, like passed away, and they end up falling in like this really bad depression. And some of them do end up doing self-harm or end up committing suicide. And it is something you guys do need to be aware of, that we all need to be aware of, and just be a little bit more careful with what we do online, and make sure that who we talk to is really who they say they are. And if you really do feel like a connection with somebody, or do feel like you can share personal information with them, to go ahead and make sure it's really them, and just be careful. The video, I hope you guys liked it, and I hope you guys could take something from my experience and apply it into your guys' life. And go ahead and give it a thumbs up and comment below, and please subscribe, and I'll go ahead and see you guys next time. Bye.